Yoga for Healing. Another energy check. We're going to hop right in with the tarot with a Celtic cross to see if we get any other deeper details. Let's see what the universe has for us, our guides and our ancestors. Knight of Swords at the bottom of the deck. Action. Someone is taking fast action. They feel ambitious and determined about this fast action concerning financial gain. What is the present energy? What is in the present position? The Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, Cancer, Zodiac, water element. An emotionally mature individual that's of good counsel, healing energy, creative, and stable. Having their eyes on what they have in front of them. Not really looking around to be in someone else's business. But it looks like someone may want to rain on her parade. This up here is really caught my attention after I laid it down, and I never really paid attention to them up there before. But right now, this is really standing out, and it's giving me the vibe of someone wanting to put a cloud and rain on your parade while you're minding your business. What is the challenge? Oh, an offer. You're bored with an offer. Looks like there's been several offers and you're not accepting them. You're bored with those offers. You're kind of in a perseverance state. Being resilient and cautious. Emotionally, mentally, and physically. And in the past, what do we need to know? Well, that is the truth. You've gotten clarity and truth. Maybe not too far in the past, but you've made a breakthrough. Financially and in your power. You're standing on truth. Deeply rooted in your roots, your legacy, your family, and your heritage. Stable and secure. And in the future, what do we need to know about the future position? Wanting to fall out sideways. In the future, there will be no conflicts. No manipulation strategy used on you or on another. You've accepted losses, you will not in the future. That is blocked. Queen of Wands. There may be a Queen of Wands energy in the future. Someone that is maybe using their charm. They're self-assured and determined. Staying optimistic, but you're not a rival of this energy. You're just taking your time, in your own lane, being practical, reliable, and efficient. Putting in the work, staying committed and patient. Taurus, Virgo, earth element energy. And what is the goal of this Queen of Cups or this Queen of Wands, unless it's the same energy? Well, it looks as though you're going to stay resilient, persistent, and cautious. That is your goal. And to keep with your future planning on your first steps, your next steps, looking out on the horizon at your ships that are coming in, this wanted to fall a little bit like sideways. I don't think you're communicating or being too chatty with others, but you may be inspired by those in the background. Judgment card wanted to slip out, but you're staying focused, grounded, guarding your energy, staying in control. More earth energy, very grounded and stable, not being reckless. And what is the subconscious? I don't think you're really in a nostalgic mood, but someone may want you to be stuck in the past. This wanted to fall a little bit, I don't know. But you are moving forward, leaving things behind that maybe you used to call home. Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck in reverse. There are poor prospects. Hence, you're not taking these offers. And what is the advice for this Queen of Cups that's minding her business, not accepting offers, and just keeping a steady forward pace? Bad investments and self-doubt. So there's some bad investments going on. And self-doubt. Maybe lacking money, but there's happiness on the horizon, possibly. And the external force dealing with this. Imbalanced, unorganized, and overwhelmed. Messy and chaotic. They're stuck. And this is being highlighted. It's being shown in the light. The truth of this Queen of Cups that refused offers, that's being persistent and standing guard, looking toward the future, not really communicating much with others, and not really curious. Moving forward. Or maybe they're stuck in the past. But we are gaining clarity and truth. This Queen of Wands, that there's no rivalry. I'm starting to pick up another vibe here. Let's go. What is the hope and fear of this Queen of Cups slash Queen of Wands energy? Disappointments. And sorrow. And the outcome. What is the outcome for this Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands energy? Meeting financial challenges. Defending themselves. Guarding their territory. But their head is in a fog. They believe they have a lot of choices. Their vision is not clear. Something about a union, a love partnership. What do we need to know about this Queen of Cups? Wow. This Queen of Cups that seems to be minding her business, that's not taking any offers. Or maybe she didn't accept cups or opportunities to get clarity, but she's stuck in a bitter, spiteful, cruel, deceitful stage. We have the Empress at the bottom of the deck. So we have a really hostile Queen of Cups energy, but she's actually a Queen of Swords in the reverse. And this Queen of Wands that's not a rival. Is this the same energy or a different energy? Queen of Pentacles. Somebody that's lazy, dull, boring, and makes silly investments with their money. It looks as though they took a leap of faith and made a wrong jump for this opportunity. They were looking out to the future, being really defensive and quiet about what moves they were going to make. This Queen of Cups that was bored, discontent, that's actually in a Queen of Swords energy in reverse. And that is the truth. This person seems to be stuck in the past. I don't think they're moving forward because they missed a chance. They made a bad investment because of their self-doubt, their imbalance, and feeling trapped. Now they're very disappointed. Throwing a fit, real moody, about to blow. They're being defensive about their delusional illusions that they're living in, and this opportunity that they took that was a bad investment. So what else do we need to know about this Queen of Cups? That's actually a Queen of Swords in the reverse, and this Queen of Wands slash Queen of Pentacles that makes bad investments. What were these two doing together? They're in their feelings. Something concerning sexual intimacy and protection. This may be A lesbian relationship that work together, but they cannot find their balance. Their cloudy judgment has them off in what they're taking their chances in, and they should have taken caution. But they decided to be bugaboo. What were these two up to since they didn't take caution? They don't want things to be seen how things are over. They don't want anything to pop off. They know they're being investigated and maybe rethinking their emotional intelligence. How they're being total drama in their action. Give me a card on this Queen of Swords reverse that portrays herself to be a Queen of Cups. Putting on a show. Police are involved spiritually or on the 3D. They're not even in their feelings. This fell on the floor in reverse. They're just a copycat. So maybe they're imitating each other. And because they worked together, they thought they were making wise investments, but they were under an illusion. And they have themselves trapped. And what is going on with their finances in reverse and their self-sabotage? They're insecure. They worked out of ego and insecurities, thinking that two together would be better. But they're just a couple of females that like to be called or treated as queens, but they're actually promiscuous temptress that are like, I'll steal your man. Not if he a good one, you won't. This imbalance and them being trapped, what do we need to know? They did not use protection. And now they know they fucked up. Whoa. Whoa. And they don't want to hear it. I'm hearing STDs. Especially if these are two females. And they're promiscuous. They're in a depression. Their disappointment, throwing tantrums, of wanting to avoid conflict for them is avoiding the truth, avoiding the reality because they're in an illusion, may not even be realizing they're suffering from depression. And I'm sure they're tired of all the drama. They're being defensive of their illusions because they don't want to face they made bad choices. And they're living in the past. What do we need to know? They're tired of it. They're going round and round in their head because someone's been kicked to the curb. Why are they tired of the drama? What is this drama? A lot of gossip and people are watching, paying attention, catching on because they're in a bank failure, lacking money. But they're still trying to be defensive, still trying to make plans, keeping to themselves, not really speaking, not really able to make a move. They're two fake friends that have been getting a room, seeking pleasure. And what else do we need to know about this fake friend? These two that have been getting a room together, they don't want to separate. Someone doesn't want to separate. They don't want to divorce from the outdated thinking. They don't want to discard things that are relevant and old news Yet they're tired of the drama. They know there's gossip. They're all in their feelings, having tantrums, can't find balance, they're broke, and people are finding out the truth of their bad choices. What about this bad choice that they don't want to admit to? Not even to themselves. Someone has evidence, possibly a recording, a message, an email, something revealing truth. And they're in denial of being caught. They don't want the evidence uncovered of how they've been cheating. Someone's been cheating. And they don't want to hear it. What is this caught? What do we need to know about caught? How they've been getting a room. And they're blowing their top. I did a reading earlier, and it was about the same situation. But on the cards, they were all males, as the one being the cheater with the red lipstick stains with a third party. So maybe both of them were cheating, getting rooms, and neither one of them knew. But now they're caught, they're busted. People are saying that they're putting on a show and that they're actually all in their feelings because they've been investigating and gossiping. And this has these two really angry. What is this? What else do we need to know about this Queen of Pentacles? Doing drugs. So that may be something they have in common. And the reason why they don't want to cut it loose, because they have these pleasures they like to seek together. And they're both haters. Females caught in their pride and ego of their vanity. Meanwhile, they're slipping behind closed doors, having sneaky link-ups that they don't want to be told, but the truth is out. And now also that they're doing drugs. They're haters. What's that have to do with you? I have no clue. Has nothing to do with me. But there's a lesson here. Don't be a sneaky link. Don't be a cheater. Don't be somebody that's so caught up into these pleasures of illusions, doing drugs, causing a lot of confusion for yourself. These are two that are lacking confidence, eager to take a leap at something. Meanwhile, they know they're not secure within themselves, so they partner up, so they feel like that's going to make the dream work. But two self-sabotagers in their vanity, pride, and ego that don't want to let go of nostalgic past, don't want to make changes, that are getting caught up, things are getting repoed, having a lot of financially incapabilities. What about this police? They're putting on a show. What about this police? What about the police? Don't want to talk about it. They don't want to hear it. Oh, there's a detective snooping. There's allegations. What do we need to know? They have not had any sudden realizations, no feeling of inspiration, and no awareness about the police because they're sneaking around, acting shady, trying to avoid getting caught. What else do we need to know about how they're trying to avoid getting caught? They're scared, heavily in their emotions, second thinking their emotional intelligence because they've been using drugs, which will alter those intelligence. They may be reading up, possibly getting readings, doing research, trying to learn more about what's going on, trying to gain some insight because now they're aware and they're in their feelings and they're scared because there's evidence of infidelity, betrayal, and also maybe some dirty money laundering, some illegal activities. And people are just waiting to watch the shit go down. And this red lipstick stain has left them broke, pinching their pennies, trying to save up, trying to balance, trying to budget. Someone may be expecting what else do we need to know about the truth? How their default and their time is up. That's what I have for this message. I'll be back. Peace.